It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. A cold front rocks the Front Range, bringing freezing temps and slick roads for your morning commute.
The snow is still falling, although lighter, but the temperatures have a long ways still to fall overnight.
We have team coverage tracking the changing conditions overnight.
Colorado ready to make a statement on abortion rights.
How did you arrive at the deciding when life begins?
That's really what's happening with this bill, is to really lay down literally the law of the land.
Right now, lawmakers discussing a bill allowing unrestricted access if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade.
For the first time in a very, very long time, a real chance that the Supreme Court is going to reverse Roe versus Wade.
And Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters indicted by a grand jury for election tampering.
I have not seen anything like this come through my office before.
Plus, no ball. As the lockout continues, the MLB pushing opening day back yet again. First tonight, our Denver 7 weather action day in full effect. Heavier snow is expected overnight. Our mile-high camera shows some accumulation on I-25 right now and snow falling in downtown Denver.
And as you might expect, conditions are worse in the high country. After nearly 4 hours of heavy congestion, I-70 just west of Vail has now reopened.
Oh, that's great news. And we have live team coverage for you tonight. Sloan Dickey is looking at a supply shortage holding up crews de-icing roads. But we start with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson, who's tracking those snow totals. Mike.
They've mostly been in the 2 to 4 inch range, a little bit heavier up in Boulder, where they had closer to 5 inches. This is a lonely view on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. And boy, those temperatures are getting lonely too. 6 at the top of the hour in Denver, 9 at Greeley, 7 right now at Akron, at 0 at Laramie, Wyoming. Combine the wind and it feels like 9 below 0 on exposed skin in Denver, 7 below in Lyman. And there's still a pretty good amount of warnings and advisories in effect across the state. The areas in the purple, weather advisories till tomorrow morning. In the pink, heading out into Kansas, those are winter storm warnings. They're going to see a lot of closed roads over much of northern Kansas. So here's what it looks like currently along the Front Range. The snow bands are continuing, the darker colors indicating the heavier snow, but it looks like the heaviest bands are gradually working their way out across the eastern plains, out toward the Burlington area and points farther east. So that's the story tonight, the heavy snow heading east. Slick roads, though, a guarantee overnight and for tomorrow morning. We'll get light snow in the morning. It'll just be flurries. Good news, warmer weather over the weekend, and we do have some 60s coming up in the 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Mike. And with these slick conditions persisting through Thursday, CDOT is asking drivers to slow down and use caution, avoiding accidents like that 50-car pileup we saw on Sunday.
Yikes. Yeah, it seems like a good idea to stay home if we can. And Denver 7 Sloan Dickey is continuing our live team coverage for tonight and future storms because, Sloan, you found out about a supply chain shortage that might actually impact Denver's ability to keep roads clear in the future.
Yeah, specifically relating to that de-icer, which is crucial for keeping the roads clear during storms. Now, there is enough de-icer right now to weather this current storm, but some companies worry that the de-icer is running thin.
They will just load and load and load.
When it comes to de-icing the roads, Snow Management Services in Denver has a lot of work to do.
We have some properties in the Denver Tech area that we'll have to fill these multiple times just to do their property.
But all that work requires a lot of supply, specifically de-icer.
In any given storm, we will easily go through 10 truckloads, which basically equates to 200, a truckload is 25 tons.
But that de-icer is running short. Supply chain problems, a warm start to winter, and several recent storms have left buyers with few options.
Some of what's impacted is we didn't have any weather in October, November, and December. And unfortunately, with the way the events have played out, this isn't normal. So we're just going through it faster than what would be the normal case.
Now suppliers are stretched thin.
Basically what they're doing is trying to take care of the needs of the many, and basically we're being rationed is how it's playing out.
Kimberly Jewell, the general manager, says roads could get icy if the de-icer runs out. For the moment, Snow Management Services has found a substitute stored in large warehouses like these.
This is actually ice slicer, ice kicker, and rapid thaw.
She says they can handle this storm.
We're looking at single-digit numbers Thursday and Friday. So right now, we're just holding the line.
But if the temperatures and the supply chain stay frozen, it could impact the roads as well.
All of us snow fighters out here are doing everything that we can to keep people and property safe, but the reality of it is what we're up against right now is difficult.
And Snow Management Services says they will be out this week clearing the roads even as those supplies run thin. On Spear, Sloan Dickey, Denver 7.
Sloan, thank you. Taking a live look now from inside the state capitol tonight, where hundreds have braved the cold and snow to speak out about a reproductive rights bill that is facing its first committee test as we speak.
Yeah, one of the main goals of the bill is to affirm access to abortions in Colorado. Denver 7 CB Cotton is there right now. The proceedings are expected to go into the night. She will have a 360 in-depth report on the outcome coming up on Denver 7 News at 10.
Denver 7's political reporter Megan Lopez heard public comments on that bill earlier today, where more than 300 people originally signed up to testify either for or against the bill.
Yeah, so as you can imagine with a sensitive topic like that, it brought out a lot of emotions on both sides.
Quite simply, our rights are under attack.
It's a debate that happens almost every year at the Colorado State Capitol.
The gravity of what we're being asked to decide today.
A debate about life, a debate about women's rights.
In Colorado, since in the last 10 years, I think our number is over 100 of number of bills that we've defeated.
This time, though, this debate is a little different. After 3 anti-abortion bills failed in a legislative committee last month on Wednesday,
it has never been more critical that we protect abortion rights.
A bill to protect choice. House Bill 1279 would codify in state law that everyone has the right to use or refuse contraception, that abortions are legal in Colorado, and that it's illegal to prosecute or punish someone who seeks one.
This bill is all about ensuring access, and that's it, period, the end.
DU political science professor Josh Wilson says this bill won't change much that's happening here.
Very little will explicitly change with the passage of a law like this.
But the conversation is in response to the events on a national level.
For the first time in a very, very long time, a real chance that the Supreme Court is going to reverse Roe versus Wade or really dramatically open up doors for states to regulate abortion in ways that we haven't seen before, is that you'll have states that protect and states that restrict.
Supporters of the bill, like Representative Meg Froelich, say this is necessary.
What we appreciate about this is that it sets the absolute framework and establishes that this is what we want in Colorado.
During that committee hearing, though, Republican lawmakers raised concerns about when life begins.
As stated in your bill, there is no right given to the unborn through any stage of development.
They also brought up the failed bills and the ballot measures and asked why a statutory change is needed.
And if we believe that the people, that the citizenry, they're not going to change course, that they're going to continue down this trajectory of not having any sort of restriction on abortion, why is this bill necessary?
The debate over abortions is always emotional. One woman being forced to leave the hearing after an outburst. It's a conversation that's not new in Colorado and a debate that will likely lead to several late nights in the legislature. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Megan. As she mentioned, the Reproductive Health Equity Act deals with more than just abortion rights. So to learn more, we have a summary of the bill for you on thedenverchannel.com.
New at 8, a Douglas County judge says school board members violated the purpose of open meeting laws before firing former Superintendent Corey Wise. Under open meeting laws, public matters cannot be discussed in private if 3 or more members are present. But the judge says the board's conservative majority circumvented the law by having a series of one-on-one discussions before the board's president and vice president told Wise he could resign or be fired. The judge is slapping the board with an injunction barring members from discussing public business or taking action except during a meeting that are open to the public.
Mesa County Clerk and Recorder Tina Peters turned herself into Mesa County authorities today. She and her deputy clerk, Belinda Nisley, have been indicted on 13 counts related to election tampering, with 7 of those being felony charges. Nisley turned herself into the Mesa County Sheriff's Office earlier today, and both had $500,000 cash bonds set in their separate cases. As a result, leaders of Colorado's Republican Party are urging Peters to suspend her campaign for Colorado's Secretary of State. They said that she should do what's best for the party amid these legal challenges.
The MLB has canceled more games after being unable to reach an agreement with the players' union. Regular season baseball games are now canceled through April 13th. And now this means 5 more Rockies games have been canceled, including the series at home against the Dodgers. The first Rockies series is now on April 14th at Coors against the Cubs.
And staying with sports for all Nuggets and Avs fans or concert goers, here is some news. Ball Arena is lifting all COVID-19 protocols this Saturday. That means masks will no longer be required inside the arena for games, events, or those concerts. And in addition, you will not have to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 test or that you haven't been vaccinated. However, for concerts, artists can still require masks or vaccination proof, including that Billie Eilish concert next weekend. She does not want you to be a bad guy.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8. Thousands of Denver families prioritizing flexibility for their child's school.
We're going to look at every student as an individual.
But as student performance slips, some parents are worried about the future of teacher autonomy.
Innovation is not a bad word. Innovation is a positive word.
Snow and bitter cold for tonight and early tomorrow, but there is a warm-up in the 7-day.
Holy spokes! We introduce you to Sister Shred, who's never afraid to tear up Colorado's backcountry.
Some days you just feel like you want to sit down in the trail and cry. And then you realize you have to get up.